This is FaceTime for the Fats, a new series where we talk about things that only plus-size girlies will get. I am late for work, let's go! So backstory. Last night I went to a Buffalo Sabres hockey game. I'm from Buffalo, so I am practically raised on hockey, right? But I would be lying to you if I said part of the appeal wasn't the fact that many of the players are incredibly attractive. And so last night I am admiring one player in particular, and I feel myself starting to bubble up with some shame, making myself feel a little bit small. And I'm like, hold on, what is this? What is this? I know exactly what it is, actually. We as plus size women and girls are raised in a society where our first crushes trade Pokemon cards.
Who's that Pokemon?
And hold up a second. This queen actually said that she started to make herself feel small. Queen, do you own a mirror? Seriously, look in it. Small is something that I would not use to describe you. In fact, I would say feeling small is an emotion you haven't felt in a very long time. Now, I want to point something out very quickly here. Any of my viewers notice that women of her size never actively look for a man her size. They always find men who are in shape attractive. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but isn't it odd how they want men to accept them the way they are, but you never see them looking for a plus size man? Almost like that body acceptance movement is only supposed to work halfway. I just have to ask a simple question about that. Isn't that kind of contradictory to nature? I mean, in the wild, you don't see lions hooking up with hippos, do you? Also, let me point this out for you queens out there who are about to say that this gorilla is a misogynist or is full of phobia for saying what he just said. Nope, I'm pointing out the blatant double standard. Large-sized women out there of all ages demand that men accept them for who they are, not what they look like or their weight. But when you ask them if they're willing to date a man their size, oh no, that's unacceptable. Gee, almost like you are purposely excluding somebody from your own movement's demands.
For a little innocent note that says that you like them, that you gave to one of your friends. Because it is so funny someone so fat could have any sort of feelings of attraction at all. Sounds ridiculous? True story. Of course, then we don't get asked out on real dates. No. We get fake asked out on dates that their friends set them up to do as a dare. And then, now that I'm in my early mid-20s, it's not lost on me when I go to the bar and notice that men will stare, buy drinks for, ask to hook up with my straight-sized, traditionally pretty friends. And then I sit here and wonder why, when I have a crush on a guy, whether it be some random NHL player or someone in my life, why I start to feel shame and feel small. God, I wonder why.
Oh, boo-hoo. Seriously, my XXXL size queen? Are you trying to garner sympathy because you can't control your calorie intake and you don't do enough exercise? You know, your weight is something that you can control. You know, fewer trips to Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme and walking a mile or two a day will change out your dating problems. I will bet good money that this weight scale challenged queen doesn't even notice a guy her size. Hell, doesn't even notice a guy 20 to 30 pounds lighter than she is. Sister, seriously, you're in your mid-20s. You still have time to slim down and at least get an average guy. If your average-sized female friends are getting the relationships you are hurting for, guess whose fault that is? I'll give you a hint. It's the one that probably has several empty jugs of ice cream and about a dozen empty pizza boxes at her place. There is absolutely zero reason why anyone should feel sorry for you not being able to control your weight. I'm not saying you can't get help for that. What I am saying is that you don't do anything to help yourself. Sorry, sweetie, you can't soar like an eagle if you built yourself up like a turkey. And unfortunately, it's not Thanksgiving. And trust me, sweetie, Chad/Tyrones treat turkeys like they're usually treated. They only stuff them during certain seasons.
How dare you?
Before we move on, I want to bring attention to the fact that 79% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. Come on, fam. You've seen my logo on other channels, and you're already here. Please hit that subscribe button and support the channel. It really helps out. Moving on.
I'm fat. I'm gonna go to the mall with you and not be able to shop in a single store in the entire mall. I'm fat. He's gonna like me in private and then pretend to absolutely not know me or act completely disgusted in front of his friends. Fat. People are gonna offer me unsolicited health advice and tell me that I'm gonna die before I'm 30 all the time. I'm fat. I'm gonna question if a guy actually likes me or if this is just a setup or a dare by his friends. I'm fat. I'm gonna go to the bar with my skinny friends and be absolutely ignored or only talk to because they want me to talk to my skinny friend on their behalf. I'm fat. I'm gonna have anxiety when I'm eating in public. Past trauma. I'm fat. I am always going to be hot and my fan is going to be on even in the dead of winter. I'm fat. I am always going to have an anti-chub rub solution in my bag.
I have to point out to any XXL Queen viewers I may have that making these videos really doesn't garner any sympathy for you. And the reason is all these issues that this Queen in this video was talking about is self-inflicted, ladies. I mean, more than likely, the way that my male viewers are seeing it, it's the equivalent of a guy drinking a bottle of poison and then making a video complaining about all the side effects of the poison. Well, yeah, you drank it. You did it to yourself. I also want to point out that she mentioned health issues that have a high probability of coming along when you're very overweight. Usually when men say that, it's because they want to point out things of concern. Only someone who shows zero concern about your health will not mention it. To be honest, ladies, other women who try to tell you to love your curves, accept yourself for who you are, that's not very helpful. Sure, it gives you a little spike in your feet-peas at the cost of your physical health and shortens your lifespan. And these queens in this video so far are still young, and they're talking about the struggles they're having. Imagine being that weight post-wall. Not just do you have to contend with the weight, now you have to contend with the wall. Dang, queen, choose a struggle. Moving on.
I am 20 years old and I've never been in a relationship, and I am scared that that's because of my body. I'm obviously mid-size or plus size or fat or whatever you want to call it. And for I think 2 years now or so, I've known that I would like to be in a relationship, and that doesn't mean that, I'm going to lower my standards to get into a relationship with just anybody, but if somebody were to come along, that would make me happy. And I feel like it's happening for everyone around me, but it never happens for me. And it's really hard not to think that that's because of my body, because not to blow steam up my own, but I have lots of wonderful and amazing friends, and I think that wouldn't be the case if my personality were right. So I feel like that can't be the problem. So what else could be except my body? I don't know. I think it's just one of those days where the fear of never being wanted or never being loved because of how I look is really loud.
Erroneous! Erroneous! Erroneous on both counts.
Oh, Lord. I find it amazing that even an XXXL queen, or in her size, just XL, I guess, still says that she's not going to lower her standards and settle. Has it not dawned on these queens that being that body size means you don't even reach the basic standards of most men? Now, can she still get dates? Yes. Will men of her age hook up with her? More than likely, that's what they're going to use her for. But she said specifically that she wants a relationship. I'm actually going to help this young queen out. So, sister, let me give you the best advice this gorilla can give you. You still have a valuable asset, which is you are young. There are men out there that could consider having a serious relationship with you. I'm pretty sure there are men who are in their mid to late 30s, heck, even their 40s, even 50s, that will look past your weight just because you can bring that energy of youth to them. There are probably several queens out there saying, OMG. That age gap, yeah, sure. But if it was a woman in her 40s or 50s and dating a 20-year-old guy, oh, that's empowering, isn't it? But that age gap was just a recommendation for a relationship. This gorilla still says the best advice for you, utilize that youth that you have, research a better diet, research exercises, and get in shape. Or if you have the money, hire a personal trainer and trim down. This does not come from a place of any kind of phobia. This comes from a place of concern for your health. Trust me, those queens out there that say, don't listen to that gorilla. He just wants to shame you. Your curves are beautiful. Sure, listen to them instead of listening to reason. While you're at it, when you go out there and get a new life insurance policy, you're probably going to need that a lot sooner than you think. Moving on.
All right, let's talk about confidence during saucy time. Also, if you're related to me, maybe just don't watch this one. Okay, so confidence, like all things, and I know you guys are gonna know what I'm gonna say, you fake it till you make it. Also takes practice. And tips and tricks and advice, I guess, if you need some. Also, I know hookup culture is a very big topic and people feel very differently on it. I think that you should do whatever makes you feel good. Let's get into it. The biggest things, and I feel like this is gonna sound pretty obvious, but accept that you just have a fat body. Whether that means your stomach hangs, whether that means you have cellulite everywhere, whether that means there's stretch marks, just accept that that is what your body looks like. Again, this is all in practice. You're not just going to do it the very first time, and that's okay. It is too that like whoever you are hooking up with, I'm assuming has like already looked at you in person pre taking your clothes off. So they already know that you're fat, whether you want to accept that or not. I think them seeing your body is going to scare them away or make them feel differently about you. Just know that they should not have been near, inside, around you, if that's the case.
Oh, wow. This XL queen said that when it comes to hookup culture, she thinks you should do whatever makes you feel good. Sure thing. That's how you rack up that body count. Hold up. Not just the queens like you complain about the difficulties of dating in an XL plus size body. You're gonna rack up the mileage too? There's nothing worse than a fat tire with no traction. And let's be honest, queens really don't need confidence when it comes to hooking up. Queens that have a size that starts with an X and ends with an L have little issues finding a physical intimacy partner. I'm sorry, that's a reality. There are many men out there who just can't get a hotter girl or are on a dry spell. Maybe they felt like, hey, you know what? I'm feeling like some thick bacon tonight. There are a bunch of reasons. The point is, even for big girls, it's real easy. So what do you need a confidence pep talk for? That's the easy part. The hard part is actually preserving yourself. That's what you need confidence for. If you preserve yourself, you take care of yourself, men will value you more. I mean, what's worse than 304 advice? XL 304 advice? But when it comes to the hookup part, I mean, let's be honest here. Ladies, you can have 20 rules on you and the men will just slap them and ride the wave in. It really isn't that complicated, ladies. Think of it as a lazy river. Just lay back and let the motion take over.
The chat was great.
Now some tips to make yourself feel a little more confident in all of this. All right, if you don't own lingerie, get some lingerie for yourself even. I'm telling you, when you have like something lacy and silky on your body, it's impossible not to be like turned on by your own body. Take some hot pictures, not to send to anyone, but truly for yourself when you are feeling like, I'm just not sure. Stand in the mirror, give yourself a pose, grab, do something to make yourself like, What you would do to another person's body that you are very interested in, do to yourself. I'm also a big fan of like looking in the mirror before or during your personal time, and that helps. At your own pace. If you do not want to keep the lights on, don't. If you want to keep them off, which I highly recommend, but again, if you're not ready for that, don't. Also, 99.9% of people have insecurities with their body, what they look like, etc. So 99% of the time you're going to be sleeping with somebody who also feels similarly about their own body, which is important to remember. I'm out of time. Let me know if you guys want a part 2.
I must break you.
All right, that sounded like a woman trying to rev up her own engine. Hey, I applaud her. She was using her imagination. I wouldn't say that was limited to plus-size girls. I'd say that just about every woman can do that for themselves. Hey, whatever works, works, and you just keep on doing that. But still, I still recommend, ladies, keep striving to lose the weight and get into better shape for your own health, not just for the guy. I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. Apart from the health issues that being overweight brings, there's also the fertility issues. I mean, it's no secret that women who are vastly overweight do have fertility issues, and if they do become pregnant, it complicates the pregnancy. It raises the risk. That's something else that you should consider. If you actually do want to have a child one day, think about the pregnancy. Don't you want it to be as healthy as possible? I am a fond believer that a woman's body is her temple and her choice. Whatever happens to her body is her choice. I don't think men are asking you to choose wrongly or forcing you into a choice. I say for the most part, they want you to be healthy. I mean, most men will smash you even if you're 50 pounds over your natural weight. That's not the issue. Some guys will justify it by saying that's more pushing for the pushing. The real issue is longevity. I am confident when I say there isn't a cheesecake on earth that's worth 10 years of your life.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.